Okay, hey guys, it's Rushing Water here, and today is part two. It's same day something. This is part two of the Rules to the Decades challenge. Um, I didn't know what to put in the background of the video, so I just put myself creating a sim and then building her a house. So let me know if you guys want me to continue with this sim. I don't know. Anyways, this is part two of the Decades Challenge rules, and I'll give a quick recap. We were at the 1940s, which is World War II, and we were on the ninth rule because rule number 8 is void because I do not have Get to Work. Yeah. So, rule number 9. Sims can still only eat one hot meal per day. My microphone's messed up, sorry about that. They can still only eat one hot meal per day. All of their hunger is dealt through scavenging, fishing, or gardening. Single women or teenage girls must get a career. If they get married, they can decide to continue with their career or become a housewife. Elementary is mandatory, high school is optional and highly encouraged. Sims can now take medicine when they become sick. Every house must have a radio, and someone must listen to it for at least an hour every day, because that was the thing that you did then. Every house must now have a garden. The garden should have at least 4 plants in it, because victory gardens were a thing then. Teenage jobs are encouraged. Moving on to the next one, 1950s. I actually had to censor this description because there's a slight curse word in there. With my censor, the time where a crap ton of stuff happened. Rule number 1, the following careers have been unlocked. Athlete, writing, and business. The business career has returned. Married women can either have a career or be a housewife. Since the Korean War happened during this time, the eldest male child and eldest female child must leave for war once they reach adulthood. The cow plant rules now it's the rules with the cow plants. Assuming these Sims have experienced wartime, they must take one of the following traits: gloomy, hot-headed, clumsy, insane, lazy, mean, or non-committal. Optional, which I will not be reading the optional thing. It's pretty much saying, like, I can download a mod, which I'm probably not going to do. But it's like about the baby boomers era, but I'm going to ignore that. Rule number 7. Your Sims can now divorce for whatever reason. Whatever reason that is. He stole the last piece of cheese in the refrigerator. Your Sims can now live in apartments, since I have city living. Your Sims can now eat unlimited hot meals. Elementary is mandatory, high school is mandatory. Your Sims can now have a TV. Only the first 3 cheapest TVs are available. There are television restriction times. Television can only be watched from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Showers are now allowed. Adoption is now available. Optional. Every Sim that served in the army and survived World War II will receive a pension. Use the money to add 250 simoleons to the household funds for every war survivor. Hiring nannies is now available. Having many children in large families is encouraged, which I will be doing in this generation. Houses can now have a carpeted flooring and brick flooring, which I think I kind of broke that rule a little bit. I put bricks somewhere. No, wait, did I? I don't remember. Anyways, I don't think that I put carpet anywhere either. Anyways, houses can now be decorated with any types of painting. Patterned flooring is now available. Private pools are now available. I can get a pool then? Nice. 1960s. Civil rights movement and sexual revelations. Rule number 1. Marriage between different ethnicities is now available. The following careers have been opened: secret agent, astronaut, and scientist. Mothers with careers may take maternity leave during the 3rd trimester. They may also take maternity leave after the baby is born. Flip the page. Your Sims can now woohoo. They do not have to try for a baby every time. Teenagers can now mess around. Again, I'm going to ignore those. Every Sim who fought in the Korean War will receive a pension. 250 for every Sim, 250 simoleons for every Sim who survived. Better radios are now available. You can now have fancier sofas, beds, chairs, tables, and stairs. And now tea brewers are allowed. The 1970s, the end of the Vietnam War and the environmentalist movement. Jeez. That's going to be amazing. It's got a lot of green. The first two children to reach young adulthood must be sent to war regardless of gender. The cow plant rules. Roll the dice, feed them to a cow plant. Odds, death, evens, live. Assuming these Sims have been to war, they must choose one of the following traits: gloomy, hot-headed, clumsy, insane, lazy, mean, or non-committal. Environmentalist movement. Anyone burn during this time. We're gonna burn everyone. We're gonna burn it to the ground. No, we're not. We're not gonna set anything on fire. Anyone born during this decade must have the following traits: active, self-assured, loves the outdoors, or outgoing. Homosexual relationships are now allowed. Computers are now allowed for gaming. Microwaves are now allowed. Coffee machines are now allowed. Plastic furniture is now allowed. You can now have better stoves, fridges, sinks, and showers. My headphones just got screwed up. Okay, let me fix that. Dishwashers are now available. Sorry about that. This one has kind of a funny name. Well, I find it funny. I don't know if it's funny, but I think it's kind of funny. The 1980s. It's called the yuppie decade. I don't get it. Rule number 1. The following jobs have been unlocked: tech guru and secret agent, the villain category. At least one Sim in the family now has to have the business career. Great. We've gone from having it completely banned to having it mandatory. Anyone born during this decade must have one of the following traits: ambitious, self-assured, materialistic, snob, or perfectionist. I almost said snub, not snob. Whoops. Every Sim who fought in the Vietnam War and survived will receive a pension. It's not optional this time. It is mandatory. 250 simoleons for every Sim who survived. Cell phones are now allowed, no restrictions. Computers may now be used for gaming. What? That was in the last one. Better TVs are allowed, no flat screens. Television time is restricted. TV will be allowed 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. That is... I'm assuming that's 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm assuming. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to fix that real quickly. I just went in with my pen. I forgot to pre-read that part. Your house may now have marble flooring. Next, the 1990s. Globalization. All careers have been unlocked. It has a little smiley face. When the oldest teenager is about to become a young adult, the family must prepare for a Y2K disaster. Now, I didn't know what that was before reading this. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up, and apparently people thought, like, there was something with computers and stuff, and they were going to, like, crash, like, or something was going on with technology. Pretty much they thought like the world was going to end, I think. But I'm very uneducated. I just got from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. I got my information from you. I don't think that I described that at all. Ask your parents. Because I have no clue what the heck it is. I'm probably going to ask my parents later. Anyways, next, you must build a temporary safe house or a shelter using the cheapest furniture. The whole entire family lives there for 3 days, right before the teenager's birthday. No children are allowed to go to school during the Y2K disaster time. In the safe house, there cannot be a computer. Men can now take paternity leave after their child has been born. There are no cell phone restrictions. There are no restrictions on how fancy your showers, sinks, fridges, or stoves can be. Your Sims can now use the computer for socialization. Treadmills are now available. Moving on to the 2000s, when I was born and grew up, it's the starting point. So, number 1. Computers can now be used for anything. Flat screen TVs are now available. Not when I was born, they weren't. We had like the huge ones that were like the rounded TVs. Those were nice. They had terrible pixel quality. There are no longer any restrictions on the types of electronics you can own. All fitness machines are available. There are no restrictions on how fancy your furniture can be. Flip the page dramatically. I don't know why I did that dramatically. No restrictions on the flooring or the walls. It says no restrictions on the type of walling. You mean wallpaper and paint? The 2010s. We're here. Gay marriage is now allowed. There are no restrictions on anything. Seriously. Well done. Okay. Then it goes on to say, like, as you guys can see, the lists are very long. A lot of the rules are trivial and flexible details that are generally looked over. So even if the set of rules seems long and limiting, most of them don't majorly affect gameplay. Then they gave a disclaimer. I've tried my best to make this list historically accurate as possible, but I did rearrange some things to make the challenge less tedious. Indoor plumbing wasn't really a thing until the 1930s, but it'd be kind of difficult and angering to separate the house and the bathroom for 4 decades. So we just have to have an outhouse for, like, 1 or 2. To win, you must get your family through all the decades / generations. And I'm going to be doing the point system. For once, I never do the point system normally, but for once I'm actually going to do the point system. And so the scoring system is 10 points for every sim married before the adult stage, which I'm probably not going to be able to do that because I have to download a mod for that, and I'll find a mod if possible. I'll try to find a mod, and if it's adult stage, it means young adult, then I'll be able to do that. Anyways, 5 points for every sim married during or after their adult stage. So if they're an elder, they get married, then yay! 10 points for each child being born, 5 points for each child adopted, 15 points for each skill mastered, 25 points for each sim that reaches the top of their career branch, 10 points for every teenage sim that has an A in school, 10 points for every child sim that has an A in school, 5 points for every teenager or child sim that has a B in school, 5 points for every sim that dies a natural death. I'm going to be losing points if nobody survives the cow plant. Moving on to the negative points. 10 points, negative 10 points for every job fired from, for every time you get fired from a job. Negative 5 points for every child or teenager with a D or below in school. Negative 10 points for every sim's death before they reach young adulthood. Negative 15 points for every sim's death before they reach elder. Negative 15 points for every fire that starts. Great. And negative 15 points for every sim that child services takes away. So yeah, we will be doing this challenge. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to do this challenge, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to it as well. For every decade, I will be doing a personal goal as well. I will have some personal goals, like once adoption is available, I will have to adopt one child for the next couple generations. Yeah, I will have to adopt one child for the next, for like every generation after adoption is unlocked. I will have to adopt at least one child per adoption generation. And like that's just an example. So I will have to do one of the things that is allowed. And again, like I said, there will be personal goals, personal boundaries. I will not be allowing myself to have more than 3 kids for the first generation, I think. Probably that's how many kids I'm going to be allowing myself to have in the household. So Mary and John will most likely only have like 2 to 4, like 3 to 4 kids at maximum. And yeah, like I said, each one's going to have different rules. I have to get the paper back out real quickly. For the 1950s, I will be giving them, I will have to have maximum, my personal goal is I will have maximum capacity in the household. So the 2 Sims who inherit that generation will have to have 6 kids because the maximum capacity is 8. I don't know if I'll be allowing them to have pets or not. I will decide that later. The cow plants and stuff, like I'll get that in the first generation. Most likely I'll be making myself get the cow plant in that generation because it's very important for the next ones. And yeah. And then I haven't had a cow plant in like 6 months. I did have a cow plant at some point, so I know what they do. I know how to work with them, but I haven't had one in a while. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I had a cow plant, is I guess the way to say it. I'm rambling right now. Okay. Yeah, personal goals and stuff will be set for myself, and I will be doing the rules. I will do my best to do some of the optional rules. I'll find a mod if I can. I'll try to get a mod if I can. And yeah. Again, let me know if you guys want me to do something with the sim that I made in this video. Her name's Liana. If you guys want me to do something with her, let me know. If you guys have any like name suggestions and stuff for people to be named in the series throughout the Decades Challenge, I will take those suggestions. And if you have any ideas for challenges and stuff, I will gladly appreciate those as well. So yeah, what was I gonna say? I forgot my outro for a minute. Yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. To then, keep smiling, guys. Bye!